Hey, what up, guys? It's Julia Vamps, and you're listening to the best damn podcast that's Culture Pop Radio during quarantine. And who we got in the building today?
DryBoy.
All the way out from Chicago. First of all, thank you so much for joining us during quarantine. It's been hard to lock everybody down, but we appreciate you for coming in and just making time. How are you feeling right now? It's quarantine.
I'm feeling good. Actually, I'm in Texas right now. Me and a couple influencers. I got friends that do TikToks and stuff like that. We came out here and we thought it'd be like a perfect idea to just isolate ourselves inside of like a place where we can just build off each other's ideas. Because when you're isolated, I feel like a lot of people go through like a lot of like, well, they'll be depressed, they'll kind of like lose motivation for their work. But like when you're with like a lot of people, you're just like like let's bounce ideas back and forth. What can we do? Can we take advantage of this situation? So that's what we're doing right now.
Absolutely. How was the flight? Because that's what I'm like the most concerned about is flying after all of this. Was it like crowded or did they like?
We didn't fly. No.
You drove?
Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm not getting the COVID. You feel me? So
I feel it.
We didn't fly. No.
That's a fact though, because that's always been my concern as of right now. I'm like, how are we all gonna fly? Our flight's gonna be full. Are we gonna have to like wear super space suits or something? I'm like, I don't get it at this point. So I'm trying to figure out how are we supposed to do this. But it's a good thing that you guys drove. How long was that drive?
Like 16 hours. We brought like Lysol. I brought gloves, masks. I was just trying to take precautions, I'm not trying to catch it at any cost, you feel me? Or give it to anyone else.
Exactly.
It was definitely worth it.
Right? So at least you're not in. Well, Chicago, I heard the crime rate went down, so that's a good thing out there. But is it like? I don't think they got hit as bad as the other major cities.
Nah. There's just people are crazy. Yeah, and that's just really everywhere. But especially there. So it's just like I'm more worried, and I think the people are more worried about others than this virus. You know what I mean? It's the first thing I thought of was like, why are people are like fighting over toilet paper? People are fighting over. I'm like, bro, like how is this gonna help any of us? Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, you just don't know how long you're going to be locked in the house for, and depending on how many people you live with. And if you're eating all day, you got to take a dump here and there. But, with the toilet paper, that's the most disappointing part, though, before we move on to your music, is the toilet paper. Like, I used to buy toilet paper on Amazon, and now, like, I can't get it because I thought it was cheaper. I try to save a little money here and there, but now you just can't get toilet paper, which is crazy.
And some of the little markets, too, they be taxing. Like hella. So like
that's a fact.
I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Like it's like damn near like $14 for like 6 or 4 rolls. Like,
exactly. It's killing my pockets right now. Toilet paper. I should have made some investments in Scott's toilet paper. That's where I messed up. So when did you get started doing music, first of all? Because like I feel like you kind of came out of almost like nowhere, like a sleeper surprise. Like you're like, oh damn, he's really good. Like so when did you start and how old are you?
I'm 19. I just turned 19. I know I look younger than that.
People I was like, is he 14?
Yeah, I've been meeting up with people and they're like I'll meet up with a girl. She'll be like, okay, I'm so happy you're not 15 because we would have ended real quick. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I've been making music for 2 years now. I started the end of my junior year of high school, and it was mostly. The biggest reason why I wanted to start doing music was because I used to be a dancer and I used to look up to a lot of artists. I used to dance like all the time. I performed at Wrld of Dance with the Future Kings.
Wow.
I used to dance like a lot, and from that I would just like be like, wow, this is really cool. I want to incorporate both things. The dancing kind of fell off though. I was like, this isn't really what I wanted to do, and I started focusing a lot of time on my music, and I started writing a lot. Next thing I noticed, like my notes in my phone, because I had a Samsung. My Samsung notes were filled with just like I'd hear something, I'd be walking and be like, oh yeah, I gotta put this down, you feel me? Yeah. But I've been doing it for about 2 years now. The first song I ever recorded was in my friend's closet. We put like you know how mattresses have like if you have a mattress you can put this thing on top of it, like I don't know what it's called, but
like
it's
like a bed topper. Like a bed topper.
Yeah, something like that to make it more like cushiony. So we got one of those, put it around. We got like a really cheap Guitar Hero mic, or not Guitar Hero, like something band mic. I don't know, but it was really cheap.
Probably GarageBand.
Yeah, like a real cheap mic, and we set it up in like the worst software ever. I forgot what it's called, but the song was terrible. But I put it on SoundCloud.
You gotta drop it now since you said that.
Yeah, well, no. The song's out. It was my first song ever. It's on SoundCloud. It's my first SoundCloud song ever. I put it out there. I was like, man, this is really gonna suck. I feel like no one's gonna fuck with it. Then I see like in like 3 weeks, it's like 70K. I was like, wow, damn, people are really liking it, you know? So I was like, I just want to keep up with this. So I kept up with it, and it's just been happening. Thank God for my managers though, because like without them, like I wouldn't have been like where I'm at right now. Not saying I'm like huge, but like they're definitely putting me on the right path, you know?
No, and that's the thing. And that's one thing when I was doing my research on you, it's like I was talking with my videographer. So we were both like looking at your pages, looking at your music. And I'm like, man, this guy is actually really, really good. And he's like on the right path to blowing up. Like, as long as you just keep going straight, dude, you got it. That's for sure. And I think that's probably why so many people gravitate towards your music, because it's actually not sucky. I can hear it at a festival. I can hear people vibing out with it, just rocking and mosh pitting. You know what I mean? Opening up a circle. You feel me? Once Rolling Loud gets back. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow, he's actually really, really good. And you give me, obviously, you know, a little bit of the Juice WRLD vibes. And he was massive before he, you know, unfortunately died.
Well, the crazy thing is, when I first started doing music, what I originally had in my notes was all lyrical music. I used to look up to people like, I used to look up to Joey Badass,
he's
Logic,
good.
Kendrick. I used to listen to a lot of those people, and I was like, yo, like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I went in the booth, and I was like, oh God, yeah, I can't do this.
You still can, and your stuff is like very much. It's kind of on that cusp, and that's why I like your music, because it's not too watered down, but it's also has some content to it, so it has a bit of weight. So it's not like, you know, oh my God, here comes another pointless song. It actually has a good balance of both. So that's why I like your music.
And that's really good that you say that too, because that's like what I want to put out there is like a lot of the things I talk about in my music. It's like a lot of my things are stories. I don't know if you can tell, but my last album, for example, I have a song called Overdose. I personally do not do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't do any of that stuff for personal reasons. And I would have people DM me saying, hey, man, you really helped me get through this. Like, this song helped me get through this. My friend, he just overdosed, blah, blah. And I just take inspiration from what people tell me. I'm like, you know what? Hey, man, do you mind if, like, I make a song kind of, like, about your experience? And they're like, yo, I love that. So a lot of my music isn't just, like, based on my experiences, but the people that also just love my music. You know, I like to interact with my fans that way. I don't even like to call them fans either. Just family, honestly.
That's a dope thing to say too, because I feel like once you start calling people like fans or whatever, it gets kind of blurry, and then it gets like this weird, you can't connect in a good way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to build up an army, you know? Like, I'm trying to build up an army.
You got it.
We're coming for the top. We're coming for the top.
Definitely, you definitely got it. That's for sure. So let's talk about your collaborations, because you had a big one, and I'm just discovering Clever, that you had one last year, and also you had CDot Huncho on there as well. So how did you end up collaborating with both of those artists?
So Clever, first of all, is the most genuine dude ever. Super cool dude. His team, they're really dope. And it's funny because actually my friend showed me Clever. And it was probably 3 months before we actually collaborated. And he was like, yo, this guy's dope. And I was like, yo, I'd love to collaborate with this guy, you know? And he was like, you should shoot him a DM. You should try to get it done. I hit my manager up. I'm like, yo, let's see what we can do. Yeah. His manager and my manager hit it off. They were real cool about stuff. Next thing I know, like, we sent him over Summer Nights. Because originally...
That song was fire, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Summer Nights was recorded on a very old beat.
No way.
Summer Nights was a very old song that we were holding back. We were like, yo, we want to drop this. This could be the one, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, we should just send it to Clever. Clever's team, like, they loved it. They were like, yo, this is fire. Clever DM me. He was like, yo, you got talent. Like, you fire. Like, I really like this. Next thing I know, like, they sent me back with his vocals, and I'm like, yo, like, I heard his vocals. I was like, this sounds so angelic, you know? I was like, this is crazy. Like, the people are going to love this. The vibe is up there, you know? And it makes you feel some type of way.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, the original producer, it was a YouTube beat. The original producer, he was, like, being real weird, being real shady about stuff. Like, he wanted, like, all this type of money. Like, not just, like, the normal amount. Like, we know the normal amount, but this
exactly.
This dude was
we're gonna run them numbers.
So we were like, we can't do that. So actually, one of London, London Blue, this producer that Clever and them use, took our voices and built a beat around it. And that's how we have Summer Nights right now. So
it worked out even better.
Yeah, it worked out way better. And honestly, I feel like it almost fit the vibe a lot more. Like real, like the best way I could describe it is like a midnight drive, you know, like little, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was really cool. We met up to shoot the music video. Super cool guy. It was nothing but love, you know. Him and his team were real cool.
Definitely. So then how do you go through the process of creating music besides, you know, like you said earlier, you take other inspirations from like other stories. And by the way, that's a good way to be a writer. Like all the great writers, like unbelievable. Once you said that, I'm like, yo, this kid is going to be like number one. They always draw from other people's experiences, not necessarily your own when you're writing, but other people's in order to make like a banger. So how for you do you go into the studio and you get things done?
So for me, when I'm writing a song, I like to really take my time with it. So, cause it means a lot to me. So for an example, like, a normal writing day would be my producer sending me beats. Depending on the beat, I feel a certain emotion. You know, some beats can bring out a very dark emotion, very sad emotion, a hype emotion, or just a good vibe, you know, where you just want to let everyone know like, hey, life's going to be good, you know? So depending on what that is, I just go into the studio with a lot of thoughts in my head, you know, about what's going on in the world. Like, and one of the things I always like to bring up is, and now thank God, like it's being talked a lot more, and you can see about like everyone's music and stuff. But like, I like to talk about like men in society being viewed as having to be very hard-headed, you know, having to be like real masculine and real strong. And I guess with a lot of my music, I just like to show people like that's not the case. Like men have emotions. So for me, it's just reflecting on, like I said, other people's past, my past with my exes or family members, and just like things that have gone in my life. And I just really take a lot of time into my rhymes and a lot of what I'm saying into my music. But normally, you know, I just get down there. What a lot of artists do this, by the way, is I like to hum a melody. And what I would do is I record that melody in my voice memos and start putting words to it. What do I feel? What do I like? What do I hear? And I just start writing. I'll probably be in the studio for like 5 hours, and I'll only have like a chorus written. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I like where this is right now. I need to take a break. I need to clear my mind up and go do something else. Maybe come back to it tomorrow in a couple of days where I'm like, you know what? Like, after experiencing this or hearing about this, like I'm gonna put this in it. Okay. So it really is, I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of different things going on in the world. And a good example of that is my Juice Wrld tribute song that I have on my SoundCloud. When he passed away, Juice Wrld was one of my biggest, I looked up to him so much. Like, he was next to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is one of my favorite artists too, but I really looked up to Juice. So when he passed away, all emotions were flowing into me. I was like an emotional overload. I went down there, I wrote about, you know, honestly,
you can definitely hear it in that song too, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like just the problem with like, I feel like the youth nowadays, like I feel like a lot of us feel like we need to do stuff to look cool. A lot of us, but we don't really know the harm that it's bringing to us, you know? So I just like to talk about that. And like I said, like you can hear through my music, a lot of the stuff I talk about is real. And it's like, it's not just something I put it on. Like I've went through a lot of heartbreaks, a lot of bad things in my life. And it's just like, I like to put it out there for everyone to know that men, just like women, just like anyone else, can feel like this type of way.
Definitely. I like that. You're a very wise young man. I don't want to call you old yet, but you're not there. But you're very wise, and I'm really enjoying this. So let's move on to your EP that you had dropped. When was the last time you dropped that project? Because it was like a short one. How many tracks was on there?
I think 8. And 8. That was probably a couple months after I dropped. That was in December. I don't remember what year. Oh, it's been a while. But I think it was like a year and a half ago. Yeah. And yeah, that was great. The vibes, we would have so many people in the studio because I built a studio in my basement. I got a job and like I hated this job. I hated it so much. I worked my ass off, saved up all this money and built a studio, me and my friends. And as soon as we built the studio, we're like, we're getting to work on an EP. This is what we built it for, you know? So we got to work every single day in and out to just be people, my friends producing songs, just a lot of that. And it was a lot of love and a lot of cool people that helped me out with that project. So yeah, that EP was great. It was cool.
What was your favorite track off that project?
It either has to be Underworld or Flower Girl. Yeah. Flower Girl is heavily K-pop inspired. Like, when I tell you, I take inspiration from a lot of different genres. Like, I love different music. I like reggaeton because my mom's Mexican. Okay. And so, like, I speak Spanish, and I love that music. That's why I love Bad Bunny. I got Spanish tracks, too.
I was going to ask you that, too.
So get ready.
Well, you answered that 2 for 2 right there. You answered 2 questions.
And, you know, I listen to, like, a lot of different types of music, but I was listening to K-pop, specifically this group called BTS. They take the world by crazy. Like they're
whoa, those guys are huge. I'm not even gonna lie, I like them. I really do, and they're fly as hell. So I mean, I'm like, their swag is different. That's for sure. Yeah. But yo, K-pop is taking over the world, and I was very surprised by that. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh,
it's just
God,
honestly, I feel like music is just like itself. It's like the opposite of language. Language is limited to like a certain region or like to specific people or something. But I feel like music is just like can just be enjoyed regardless of that.
It's universal.
Exactly. Yeah. Universal. Definitely. But yeah, Flower Girl probably my favorite. Super good vibes. It's about my my girl, and
hopefully there's no heartbreak there. By the way, you hear some more good vibes, some good summer vibes from that.
For sure.
Okay, so let's talk about when you're dropping your next project, because we need a little bit something. You dropped the Quarantine Vibes, like a couple days ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I'm a little off, so I was like, no, it was recent. So, new music?
So, new music, and my managers do not want me to drop an album yet, and I agree with them for the fact that there's so many good songs. We want to wait till a bigger audience can appreciate it. Right. You know, we want to really give the people, like, we want to show people like, yo, you guys brought it to this point, and this is what you guys deserve for that. And like, it's almost like a reward. Right. For, like, my hard work, like the family that I'm like bringing up is just like, this is the reward. So right now we're focused on releasing singles. The next single we're going to drop, like I said, we're focused on a lot more positive vibes right now. Not only because it's getting closer to summer, but because of right now, you know, I don't really want people to be listening to a lot of sad music. Like, I want them to feel good. So, Party is probably going to be the next drop. I don't know if you saw the snippet, but it went crazy. It went crazy on IG. It's fire. It's fire. The snippet, I posted it probably like almost a month ago, but it was going crazy. People still in my DMs like, yo, when are you dropping this? When are you dropping this? That's going to be the next song. And actually, we're gonna get some like TikTok people to do some big stuff to it too. We're really thinking that this song could be taken off for real.
Is that the reason why you're in Austin? That's the question.
Well, the reason I'm in Austin specifically is I feel like I need to get out of like Illinois is ugly. Like the weather.
I've never been there before, by the way.
Weather is so ugly. It's so flat. Like, it's really boring. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I got mad love for like the people and like the culture there, and just like music is great. But, you know, I need to get out sometimes. You know, so I got here and just it feels nice. The sun's nice and bright. It really helps with your mood. You know, like the weather really can affect your mood. But yeah, I want to grow my TikTok a lot more. So I'm with my friends that do that stuff, and we're working on a lot more stuff. You know, I want to be able to take over the game by like storm. Like, I want them to be like, oh wow, look at this, look at this, look at this. You know, I'm not settling for like the bottom. Like, I'm really trying to
exactly. I never understood why people like fine with like, you know, I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but I like you, so we're on a good path. Another thing I wanted to ask you is, are you gonna bring back your dancing into TikTok? We got to see the skill.
So I probably will. Right now, I'm more focused on like the comedy side of TikTok, but I definitely think I'm going to bring the dancing in, because honestly, that's something that really could bring in a huge like market of new people. You know, it's really good to do that. So I probably will. And who knows, like maybe when I blow up on stage, I'm gonna just be busting out moves. You know.
I can't wait to see this, because you work with Future Kings, and they're starting to blow up a little bit too. I know they had like a TikTok TikTok challenge. It was actually pretty funny.
They're crazy. Yeah, no, they're dope. We're not as close as we used to be, but lots of love for them. They're always busy, you know. Like, I'm more close with the leader of it all. Isaiah. But yeah, we grew a little distant, but nonetheless, like, he's fine. He's fine. He's busy. He's a busy guy, but they definitely like bring me they get me motivated, you know. So I'm just like, okay, I'll see y'all there too.
Exactly. Listen, see you at the top. That's what I always tell people. See you at the top. So you better be at the top when I get there. I don't want to be like, yo, what happened to you? You know what I mean? But this is my favorite part of the show. It's called 5 Fast Facts. I love throwing people off with this one. So for your fans out there, you got to drop 5 gems about yourself that they don't know. And you got to be comfortable with it too. So I give you opportunity. You don't have to do nothing embarrassing, but whatever they don't know about you right now, drop it.
All right. I love anime. They might or might not know this, but I love anime. I'm a huge, I was
going to ask that too when you said K-pop.
I be watching anime all the time, like literally all the time. 2, I really, really, really do not like, what's it called? What's that food called? I keep forgetting. Cottage cheese. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Cottage cheese is gross. If you eat that, I'm sorry, but
you're
not family. You're not family.
Yeah, I don't. I'm with you on that
one.
I
don't have family that be eating that. 3. Ooh, 3. When I was a kid, I used to do this thing, right? And I would get up in front of like all my family members and like I would like rub my feet on the ground like Michael Jackson and like dance around the living room. And honestly, that's probably where the dancing sparked from. And I got videos.
I thought you were gonna say something else. I was like, wait, where is this going?
No. I'll probably post a little video of it, but my parents would call it like the funny dance, and I would always like do. So that's like, I don't know. That's like a goofy little thing I used to do.
All right, bet.
4. I'm trying to really think because I feel like my parents. I feel like they know a lot about me already.
Oh damn.
Oh, I don't like country music. That's one thing I can't. Really? I can't get into that. I literally can't. Like, no matter what.
Like country, no nothing like that.
I've tried, I've tried to like hearing it and like I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. But look, I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking like the effort and time and the like the quality.
Right.
It's great. It's just not for me,
Hey, listen, it's all preference.
And 5, I've been to Mexico probably like 10 times.
Damn. Okay. I've only been once, so I'm a little embarrassed now that you said that you're well-traveled. That's what we're getting right now.
Yeah, I go to, my mom, she lives in Zacatecas in a place called Santa Lucia, and it's a little place. And it's really poor. It's a real small population.
Damn.
Like they actually hunt their animals like to eat type stuff. So
wow.
It's real different. And going there, I feel like it really makes you appreciate like what we have here, yeah, and I've been to Tijuana, which is like right on the border of San Diego and and that place is lit. That place is lit.
Good
it's crazy.
Town.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I've heard it's different variations of a Tijuana for sure. Depends on what spectrum you're on. It might be good or bad.
No, for sure.
Well, DryBoy, thank you so much. Before we go, I needed to ask you this one question. Where did you get DryBoy from? Because that's what I wanted to ask. I was like, what's the name? You got to break that down for me.
So everyone asks like, yo, there must be some big story behind this and that. All right. I'm going to just tell y'all right now, there is no big story. But I will explain the process, all right? I made my first song, all right? And originally, let me give you guys a little, this is another funny little fact. When I was in middle school, I wanted my rap name to be Marbooty because my full name is Joshua Marbutt.
Marbutt, really?
Yeah, that's my dad's last name. My mom's last name is Torres, so that's like
okay. So I was like, wait. I was like, wait.
Mexican last name, right? But because my last name was that, like obviously that was not gonna fly.
Yeah.
So around high school time, before I dropped my first song, I was like, I really wanted to call myself Boy, just B-O-Y, but something about like DryBoy just brought a really cool vibe. So I just put the word dry in front of it. I had a super dry bag on me. It's a really cool brand from London. Yeah. And I was just like, DryBoy. I was like, honestly, it's different. It's going to stick. And people are going to be like, what type of a name is that? Let me check them out. I was like, to me, it's smart marketing. Like, it's a different name. Like, no one would have thought,
No, and it's funny you said that because I'm actually wearing super dry sweats right now.
Oh, that's
like I'm actually wearing like everything I'm wearing is from London. Like I'm not trying to be funny.
Super dry is crazy. Nah, they cool. And super dry, if you're watching this, we definitely need to collab.
Exactly, that would be dope. And they're known for collaborating with different artists. So there you have it. Super dry. Let's get DryBoy on a collab. That'd be nice. Good little sponsorship. All right, DryBoy, thank you so much for joining and doing the quarantine. I would say quarantine radio, but I think Tory Lane's got that already. But this is the best damn podcast. So that's where we're going to keep it at. So DryBoy, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Julia Vamps.
I'm DryBoy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
With me, oh girl, you look so pretty.